We just started. We haven't even started yet.
It's okay, this works.
Yeah.
I think
So,
this works.
Hi, this is Lola,
I'm Wendy.
and we are the. Oh man, I forgot.
Okay, so we're doing this new thing, which is really about to be revolutionary in my mind because it's something that I've never done before, something that she's never done before, and we're very excited about this project. And so, do you want to share a little bit what sparked the idea?
God sparked the idea. We're very open about our conversations, and we wanted to discuss what it is to be a follower of Christ and the obstacles that we go through, the trials and the blessings, because it's not all difficult. And there are a lot of things that a lot of churches don't talk about because they're afraid of judgment, but we wanted to bring to light what is hidden in the dark.
Yes.
And we wanted to express how a person that follows Jesus really thinks and where their heart is coming from.
Yeah, and especially I feel because everybody's so different, which I can't compare my walk with her walk, and she can't compare hers with somebody else's. And so everybody really is required to take that responsibility on themselves and say, you know what, if I want to do something, if I want to start that journey with God, then it's on me. You know, everybody has to take that responsibility,
Right.
and God is going to honor it. He really will, because once you develop your own relationship with God, it's like a whole new world just opens up, and you're being placed in this whole brand new perspective of what is actually attainable for you. There's so much to grab onto. There's so much to hold on to, even though I know life gets crazy, and it really does get crazy, and I get it. Trust me, I get it, because listen, life gets crazy,
Yeah.
but
And
it's okay.
it's okay. I met her in an app. This is our love story. I met her in an app, and we never actually got to meet, but when we did, it was like, wow, you're a Christian too? And we didn't even start really hanging out like 2 months ago,
Yeah,
maybe like
I
a
would
month
say
and a
2 months
half.
ago.
And we've just been inseparable, and she has expressed what the love of God truly is, and she has shown it, and it's just so overwhelming, but in a good way. And because we live in such a broken world with broken people,
Lord,
it's
yeah.
really hard for us to accept this type of love, which is completely unconditional. She's so patient, she's so kind. In her mind, she's not, because I'm pretty sure that in her head she's like, Lola's crazy, but Lord, let me endure with her. But she models as to how I should behave towards others, because I don't
Yeah.
have any type of like somebody to help me with my walk. So
Well, it's the grace of God, because it's literally by His grace alone. And when we say it's the grace of God, I know for some people it's a new concept, because it was for me. I never knew what that meant. When someone first, forget language barrier, because I'm not from here, okay? If you hear me talking crazy, it's because English is not my first language. Anyways, when someone would say the grace of God, I don't know what that means. And even once I learned English, I still didn't really know what that meant. But it really, through God, He gives him the strength. He gives us the strength to do what He wants us to do, as opposed to what we want to do ourselves. Because as people, we're flawed. We're human beings. We don't have to be human beings, but it's like we're programmed that way to think about me, myself, and I. To think about what's best for me and what I want and how I feel and what I've been through. And it's so much on yourself that you're so blinded to everybody else. But once you come into Christ, because God said that greater love there's nothing greater than to lay down your own life for a friend, you know. And that's exactly what Jesus did for you, for me, for her, for us all. He laid down everything He had for somebody else, because, you know, it's really, God talks about that it's more blessed to give than to receive, right? So for you to feel like, you know what, it may be a sacrifice for me to give of my time, to give of my affection, to give of something that I might not be comfortable with doing, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because when I give, there's no way that God won't settle up. There's no way that you can outdo God or outgive God. When you give to someone else, that God won't give you abundantly more right back to you, just because that's how He's programmed. You know how we're wired one way? He's wired a completely different way, okay?
Right.
Not like us. Lord, thank God. Thank God God is God. And not,
thank God God is God.
Thank God for being God.
Yeah, seriously.
But it's really beautiful that once you tap into that, it's not going to be hard, because God will give you that strength. He really will be, and he will do it all on his own because of who he is, not depending on us on how well I can perform today or my behavior.
Not by works.
Exactly. It's by faith.
Right. And we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about sex, relationships, dating, to how do you say it?
To dreams, to
dream,
aspirations.
dealing with temptations.
Yes.
If you're brand new, what will occur after you get baptized?
Yes.
Just it's just an intimate conversation. Two women are simply discussing their walk with Christ and how, like, we just want to bless you with our experiences, and we want to make sure that you don't feel alone when you're going through this, because sometimes it's really difficult for us to be vulnerable as women, to maybe talk to our leaders or to talk to our friends about, hey, listen, this is what I'm going through. I'm dealing with temptations towards sex or masturbation, pornography. Like, these are topics that the church will not normally talk about, but like, depends on the church that you're in, obviously. But we wanted to bring those things into light because
there's so much hurt, there's so much fear, there's so much pain like going on within each and every single one of us, that sometimes, because as people we get so insecure about ourselves that we're so scared to bring it up. And mind you, I can be in a room full of people, yet that loneliness can still be very real. You can be so alone in yourself and feel like, wow, I have no one, even though you're in the midst of people and you have family, you may have friends, you may have people that you can turn to, but you yourself, because you're so broken inside, you're scared to open that up to somebody else. And so we're here to just shed light on that, and to, just like, you know, I think just like you said, it's beautiful for people to know that they're not alone in what they're going through. And, you know, of course we know that everybody has something, everybody, you know, has their own situations, to each its own. But again, every time you speak on something, every time you bring something up, it really does help. It really does, you know, relieve something. Like, relieve your burdens. Yeah, it really does. And that's something I had to learn, because I did not grow up talking about nothing. Like, you don't express your feelings, you don't express your thoughts, you don't express your nothing. It's like, because I grew up in a very like Chinese, you know, household where it's like tick, 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 study, 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 study. Are you studying? No, you didn't get an A plus? No, okay, I'm gonna kick you out the house. No, but you know, it was very black and white,
legalistic, right?
Yes, to say the least. And so, you know, some people just simply don't know how to communicate. Some people, it's not because they don't want it, but simply because they were never taught how to. And so,
I hope that you guys are excited as much as we are, because like, these are conversations that we talk in private, but we're like, you know what, I'm sure there's somebody out there, at least one person who this conversation can really bless and just open their minds and make them feel like, listen, it's day by day, step by step. Like, God chased me for like 9 years and dang, it's been a journey. And I'm just so thankful for his patience and his grace and his mercy, because I'm not completely transformed, but I could say that I'm like, my mindset and my habits, they're getting taken care of one by one. And so I love you guys, and I hope that you have a great day.
Yes.